Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to today's Bitcoin update and other altcoin party. We do have a lot of stacks list right now. We do have Luna Classic, which I'm just gonna do it as a separate video, but we do have Ethereum now, MBOX, Lever, we have Bond, we have DAR, we have MATIC, SOP, OP again, DOT, Cadena, and B Pro. So we're gonna be doing this is going to be super busy list. Once again, you can check the chapters of this video if you want to go to the specific particular video that you want to watch right now. And if you want me to do any coin right now, if you want me to analyze any coin at the moment, you can just leave your comments in this YouTube video, and I'm going to be checking your comments and then be doing the else party next one. So without any further ado, let's get rolling with Bitcoin at the moment. So this is going to be a very quick one for Bitcoin right now. So we've talked about Bitcoin yesterday, and it seems like Bitcoin has already made this bear flag, and it seems like it's time for Bitcoin to make that corrections. And from there to there, we're still looking for Bitcoin to actually come down to nearly this level here, which is going to be $22,795. And who knows, you can actually start to bottom out from here. One structure that I was looking for Bitcoin though is I don't know if there's a possibility of making inverse head and shoulder, because we do have a lot of inverse head and shoulders at the moment. Okay, so all you're doing is, if I actually just turn off every single drawing right now, you went down like this, came up, went down, came up, went down, you came up like this, right? Came down here, went up again, and then you're moving down like, it's like you're stepping the ladder. So you can actually come down to $22,700 again, and you try to print a right shoulder here, and then you start to move higher, right? And then you can have this left shoulder, the head here, and then you can actually come down and move sideways like this, have the right shoulder, build the right shoulder, and then make the right shoulder completely, and then you start to break to the upside. And then we're going to talk about the technical target from there to there. Then we might be looking for Bitcoin to actually make them. And I do expect Bitcoin to move higher to maybe 26K, 28K levels, and that's going to be price technical target to come up to $27,000 after this correction is done and over. At the moment, let's see what happens. You are looking to actually slip down to $22,700, and that is where you can actually find some level of support at the moment, because you do have a lot of influence there. You have influence here. You have the influence right there as well, right here as well. So just come down here for the bear flag, build the right shoulder, try to go up, break out, and then boom, that's it. You actually try to move to the upside as well. So this is going to be a very quick one about Bitcoin, but you have to be careful Bitcoin doesn't really start to lose perhaps $20,700. If Bitcoin actually does go to $20,700, that's going to be a problem, honestly. Really big problem. But there are pending targets for so many coins out there, which I do hope Bitcoin can actually just make that small corrective move to the downside, and then start to actually build once again to move higher. So I just hope everything goes okay. The weekly time frame does show a little bit of a bearish candlestick, which is almost like a, on a weekly though, this has been amazing. Okay, we had the first week went to the upside, and then the second week went for the week to the downside, went to the upside again. This one can actually come down for liquidation and then start to move higher again as well, and maybe come up to these $27,000 ranges as well. So let's see how this one plays out. I do hope that Bitcoin somehow makes that inverse head and shoulder. Otherwise, it's going to be a huge problem if you do come down to 20,700. Then that's going to be a lot of problem, right? And then we might be actually putting in the journey to start to go even way more lower for Bitcoin at the moment. So that's it for this Bitcoin. Let's move on to the next coin. It's going to be Ethereum. Alrighty, so let's talk about Ethereum. Ethereum still remains, to be looking for that retracement coming into the downside. So let's dive into the daily time frame at the moment. And yeah, so I'm looking for this particular line that actually can be retested at the moment. So you can already see it's a area, or it's a place that you actually broke out of. And there's this like pattern, I don't know what you call this pattern. It's like it's almost like a descending broadening wedge in a very weird way, but I do think you do have this technical target that you haven't really met at the moment. So that's going to be from there to there, and this is where you were breaking out of. Actually, you did met the target. That's pretty amazing. You did met the target, but what I'm looking forward to is Ethereum coming a little bit down to this level, which is going to be 1619. You backtest the 1619 here, hold the retest, and then you actually continue with the journey to go to the upside. And just as I've talked about Bitcoin can actually make that inverse head and shoulder like this and try to move to $27,000. Who knows? But at the moment, Bitcoin is coming down, so Ethereum is going to come down, definitely come up to this level, touch that level, and then go to $2,500, because by the end of the day, that's still a technical journey. So you're going to be doing something like this: go up, come down impulsively, go up again, come down, maybe hold this level, go up like this, and then absolutely take off to that level. All in all, again, the comment still remains the same. You don't want to lose 1357. If you lose 1357, it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be really, really, really bad for a move to the upside. And I don't expect any move from here onwards to actually go any higher as well. So that's for this Ethereum update. Just a quick one. Still the same thing as I said yesterday in yesterday's video. So let's move on to the next one, which is going to be MBOX. Yep, so here we are with the MBOX. Previously, we had this almost inverse head and shoulder that I draw on the 4-hour time frame, but I'm just going to remove every single drawings at the moment. And let's see, so we did have this support level down right over there. And right now we are putting in another level right over here as well. So you did break out of this level after a very, very long time. So it's time to actually back test this level. It seems like all you're doing is you're just going to come down for a back test, nothing else. Like you've been overextended to the upside and now you're coming back for the back test. And it seems like there's a possibility of coming down to 0.699 level and hold this level and then start to make an upper trend as well. I just want to see if the EMAs are making any cross. So you do have the 55 at the moment being crossed. The 10 and the 20 already have a cross right here, so that's amazing. So you can see that if you do come down here, then you probably might be coming down to backtest the 10 EMA, and then you backtest the 10 EMA. Not only do you backtest and hold the 10 EMA, but what you do as well is you have this resistance there, resistance here, resistance here as well, resistance there as well, and then you finally broke it out, and then you went up like this. All you're doing is coming down and you want to hold it as support, and then from there you continue with the uptrend as well. So let's talk about the technical target. I don't know if it's met or not, but we're going to see if the technical target is met, or if it's not met, then what is it going to be. Actually, if you look at it this way, it almost seems like you met the technical target. So be careful if you actually start to come down for MBOX under this level and close below this trend line again like this, then you might be actually making deeper retracement down to that level, which is going to be 0.581. So be super careful at the moment. So let's see what happens next. And that's it for this MBOX update. Let's move on to the next one, which is going to be lever. Right, so here we are, lever, a coin that hasn't been making any move at the moment to the upside. And I talked about the reversal wave, the possible reversal wave for lever coin, which is going to be down here at the 0.001850. And so far, it seems like that can be true. But what I'm going to do is bring this support level, which we're still holding, right? So ever since you've went down like this, you hold the support one time, you went up like this, second time you went up like this, for the third time. But let me give you this flash or a heads up right now, because I do think you might be putting in a descending triangle right there, and the apex for this descending triangle actually comes by 5th of August in the next 4 days. So what's going to happen in the next 4 days is that you're looking for this technical target from there to there, and if you do drop, you're coming down to this level, which I do expect that it needs a retracement down to that level, perhaps, because it has been overextended. You've put in a descending triangle, and that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so if I do actually remove all these drawings that is not needed right now, that's the level that I'm looking for. 4 more days to know where you're going to go. And if you do break to the upside, then my friend, you're going to be looking for lever to actually pop to 3644. It's all about the direction of the breakout. So to the upside, to the downside, that's your technical target. To the upside, you go back to where you formed the descending triangle, and it can actually even go up. So be careful in here. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to go down. Just wait for the break, wait for the retest, and then we're going to understand where the hell this thing takes, right? So that's it for this level. Very quick one in here. So let's move on to the next one, which is going to be bond. Yeah, I've seen bond actually Yeah, I just saw bond pumping yesterday, and people might have been excited once again. But let me tell you one thing: you haven't pumped enough to invalidate the bear flag. Okay, so the technical journey to still come down to $5 remains intact. Okay, so that was a nice, good pump. I get it, but then again, you did even something way more worse with this pump. This pump didn't help at all. It actually even made things worse because what you did instead is you made a bearish continuation pattern known as a three-line strike. So what I'm going to do is go to Google right now and write in three-line strike pattern right there. And I do have a course, guys. If you want to learn all of this, do check out the course. The link is in the description of the video. And this is what it looks like, right? So what you did is you made that three black cross or three red candles. So 1, 2, 3, and a green huge candle to the upside. So this is bearish. You can see that it's bearish. So what did you do? 1, 2, 3, and a huge green candle to the upside. So which means if you come up for bond to actually continue higher, you must break 11.731. You must break it. I repeat it. You must break this level. If you don't break the level, then there's no uptrend because you're going to be breaking the bear flag and you're going to be breaking this three-line strike all in all. So there's nothing bearish to talk about anymore because as long as you're not doing that, you have the bear flag, which is bearish. You have the three-line strike, which is a continuation pattern to move even way more lower. I don't know if there's any more pictures to support this thing, but you can see this one, three red candle and a green candle, is a bearish pattern. It's not a good pattern. Okay, so all you're doing is, again, you're setting in the trap right now to actually make people lose money even more. So what I'm going to do is try to look for more like this image right here. You can see this image. That was the bearish three-line strike. You made three red candles, huge green candle, and then you continue with the downtrend. You can see that. So that's it for this bond update on this one. I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it a lot, and hopefully it's going to help you out. And let's move on to the next coin, which is going to be DAR. All right, so I'm on the daily time frame here for DAR right now, and it seems like DAR has a level that has to be broken, and sooner rather than later, we're breaking out of this level at the moment, and that's amazing. Okay, so DAR in itself is looking to backtest this level. So it's been a sideways movement, consolidation movement, and what I'm going to say is that it came down, the buyers push it up, went up, sellers push it down again, and then the buyers push it up to this particular resistance, made a W, but still fail, and then the sellers push it down, buyers push it back up, and finally the sellers were able to manage to break it out of this level. So all I'm looking for is DAR to basically come down again to this level and backtest that level. So do keep in mind you have some sort of a morning star here, and a big stop loss should be placed down at 0.31392. If you start to take out that level, then it potentially could be the sellers are looking to push it again down to this level, the support level again. So what I want to say is that now that you've broken out of this level, come back for the retest. Maybe retest this area, and the next technical target is going to be for DAR from there to there, and you're going to be looking to actually pop and move to this price level, which is going to be 0.40 cents at the moment. So it's a sideways movement. It's a clear break to the upside. Amazing. And you're really trying to hold this level, hold it perfectly, bounce off this area, and you're good to go to that area because you've never really broken out of this zone. I just want to see the volume when you broke out of it. Yeah, so the volume was quite decent as well, so not a very bad volume. So let's see, finger crossed, this looks very positive to continue higher. And I do hope that it can actually bounce off this place and continue higher. That would be amazing, right? So that's it for DAR, very quick one. And let's move on to the next coin, which is going to be MATIC. Yep, so talking about MATIC, there are two key levels that I talked about MATIC yesterday, and if you were actually able or successful to cross those two key levels, you could have been successful to move higher to this price level, which is going to be 1.18. But unfortunately, you got rejected now, and it seems like MATIC is finally putting in a double top. So this is your first top right there, second top right there. There's a good chance that you actually come down to this level, break the neckline as well. And when you do break the neckline, then unfortunately, you're going to have MATIC to go from there to there, and we might be looking for MATIC to come down to this level. If the breakout happens, of course, and that's going to be nearly 0.6115. Now, one more thing to keep in mind, though, is that you do have this trend line as well that you can actually come down to backtest. So you can actually You see, you broke out of it, but it seems like you already back tested that, isn't it? Like you broke out here, you back tested it, and then you went up. But still, nonetheless, if you do come down, I do reckon that you can come down to this trend line again, and you hold that trend line. So which tells me that if you break this level, which is going to be $0.76, not only are you losing that trend line, but you're breaking the neckline of a double top, and then from there to there, we are going to be looking to come down to that particular price target that I've told you. I just want to see if it's supported on the EMA. So it's going to be down to 55 EMA, not only 55, but you're going to lose the 55 to come down to the 0.6. And this is a level that wasn't back tested previously because of the cup and handle that I talked about. So this was your cup and handle right here. This level was never really back tested, and you can actually go for the dirty retest. And the dirty retest is when you break to the upside and you never come down for the retest properly to retest the line, because if you do zoom in here, the retest was never done, right? Like, yeah, you broke it out, but you never really back tested it successfully. Instead, you just kept on going down, and this can be a dirty retest to finally come down after making the move to the upside. So let's see what happens, guys. But you have officially failed to cross the resistance. You are being rejected. The downfall is the view right now. So let's move on to the next coin, SOP. Right, amazing. So SOP at the moment still remains with what I left with you yesterday, and that is going to be the inverse head and shoulder at the moment. So I do hope Bitcoin behaves somehow, because we do have a very bullish pattern for SOP. That's going to be your left shoulder there, the head here, that's going to be your right shoulder at the moment. Okay, so you are still under the neckline. You are still under the neckline. You haven't popped out of the neckline. You haven't really crossed the neckline. And the worst about this coin is going to be if you actually do come down here to 416, lose the 416, and then it's actually going to be way more bad, and you're going to be looking to dump even way more to the downside. At the moment, unfortunately, you're still putting in this resistance. I just want to see again how long it's going to take before you make that proper break to the upside. So let's bring in these EMAs right here. So you have time until tomorrow to actually make a decision, right? So I'm expecting this to actually just come here again, a move like this sideways, and pop to the upside, because not only are you putting in inverse head and shoulder, but understand this, that you're putting in an ascending triangle as well. So if you do fail to break to the upside and you break to the downside instead, your next technical target is going to be down to 420. And if you actually break to the upside, then that's amazing. Your technical target out of the inverse head and shoulder is up here to 539. And I do hope, finger crossed, you break to the upside and move higher. But if you do break to the downside, then we don't have any other option rather than just coming down to 416 again. Okay, so that's it for this SOP. Let's move on to the next one, which is going to be OP. Right, so here we are with the OP coin. Right, so the correction for OP still remains. I just want to dive into the daily time frame. We're really hitting all the notes that we need to hit right now. Okay, you've already made the evening star, as I told you yesterday, and so far you're still looking to correct down here, which is going to be an amazing entry level to the 1.333. So I do hope this level gets hold, because what you're looking forward to the next is going to be a $4 technical target of this place, of this saucer bottom. Okay, all that saucer bottom, break to the upside, come for the retest, boom, and then you're good to go to that level right over there. Okay, it's going to be amazing. All we have to do is wait, and nothing more than wait, because if this retest fails, which I don't think it's going to fail though, then it's going to be bad. I just want to see the EMAs and where you're looking for the EMA. So you can see the 10 EMAs down here. So you're just looking to come down to touch the 10 probably. You've already made the bull cross right here. So it's actually bullish on that level if you look at it that way. And all you might be doing, because you always bounced off the 10 EMA, let me tell you that. Just look at the history of this one. You just went to the upside here. You came down, bounce off the 10. You went up again, came down, bounce off the 10. You went up again, bounce off the 10 here. You're going up again, you might come down and again bounce off the 10, and you're good to go to the upside. Because that's what happens when you make a bull cross. The very first EMA that you always look forward to is going to be the 10. If you lose the 10, then it's the 20. Lose the 20, it's the 55. And if you lose 3 of them, then that's where you might get the bearish cross and start to actually go to the downside again. So Can it hold the 10? That's the question that I want to see answered in the next coming 1 day or 2 day. Maybe today, perhaps you can come down to the 10 and back test the 10 as well. So that's it for this OP. Let's move on to the next one, which is going to be Polkadot. Alrighty, so let's talk about Polkadot. Okay, so we've already crossed the 55 EMA. Amazing. You are on the verge to make this bullish cross right now. You've actually made a sideways movement that you've already crossed out of. You've made the push to the upside. What remains to be seen right now for Polkadot is the bullish cross, okay? So what you might be doing here now is you actually went to the upside impulsively and you're coming back down to backtest the EMAs. Get the backtest of the EMAs, hold the EMAs, and you start to move higher, probably to the next technical targets, which I'm about to talk about. So, right? So that's the first thing. Backtest the EMAs, and you're good. Amazing to move to the upside. I just want to bring the Bollinger Bands, but I don't think the Bollinger Bands have any information right now for me. So what I'm going to do is talk about the sideways movement that you've already broken out of. So this is going to be the level that you really broke out of. There is a good chance that you still come down to this line here, maybe on a higher time frame, that you're looking to actually drop down to that level again, which is going to be $7.5. Bounce off the $7.5, and you're good to go to actually move higher, right? So this has been some sort of descending broadening wedge, or whatever you want to say this, and the technical target maybe has not been met. So from there to there, we're still looking for Polkadot to actually go to $9.74. Okay, so that's a technical journey that it has to take on. Who knows, it can actually just go up here without coming down to this level. I wouldn't be surprised, but keep in mind, this is a technical journey. I just don't know how. Maybe come down here and then go to the technical journey, or just go to that journey, to that technical target as well. The worst about this thing is that you don't want to come down here and close below below this level, which is going to be $7.6. If you close below $7.6, then that's it. You might be looking to actually drop again to $5.66, because that's the next trend line of support here, support there, support here as well, and support down here. So you want to be careful, keep an eye on it. And that's it. Let's talk about the next one, which is going to be Cardano. Amazing. So we saw Cardano yesterday making the move to the upside. The technical target nearly was met, which is going to be $2.3. And I highly doubt if you're actually going to keep coming down right now at the moment. So you do have some sort of a bull flag right here. So from there to there, we're looking for this bull flag, and the technical target out of this bull flag is actually met. So, yep, it's already met. There's a good chance now. What's the next here is that I'm just going to remove the upper targets. I think the upside is already played out, and what we're waiting for is the retest of the neckline here. So you might be looking for a back test down to 1.7889. You backtest the 1.7889 and probably hold it like a boss, and then you start to move higher. So let's talk about the next technical target if you do so. So it's gonna be, let's say you actually do bottom out here 1.77, then you might be looking for a technical target in the future to come up to 2.5347, given that you hold 1.788, and you want to actually put a stop loss down here. This is really important to point out, which is gonna be 1.6778. So 1.6778 is going to be a stop loss. If you do take out that stop loss, once again, it's going to be that you're failing the retest and you're coming back into the box, and who knows, you can actually fizzle out and you continue to go even way more down to the downside. So you want to keep an eye. You want to keep your eye open that you don't want to go back into that box. If you go back into that box, I highly doubt if you're going to even move higher again. Then that will be a huge indicator that things are going to get really bad. Okay, so be careful on this one. If you're in profits, amazing, congratulations. You always want to take profits when you're in profit. So let's move on to the next coin, which is going to be Pro. So B Pro here. I've never talked about B Pro before. And so let's look at B Pro, a coin that hasn't really pumped and has an opportunity of pumping to the upside. So likewise, every other single coin that you've had, moving sideways, we have B Pro here. And look at this, right? So that's the level. Maybe this level is what we're talking about. And we do have another level here as well down there that we're talking about. So It's pretty much a sideways movement. I do expect B Pro to actually come down here again. So it's going to be this level 113480. So you actually continuing sideways. There's no any particular scenario. Now this can actually turn into a bearish rectangle if you start to break to the downside, something like this, which actually did a fake out previously. So what you don't want to see is actually breaking this down and back testing, and then there's a good chance that you move to the downside. So let's talk about the technical targets to the downside and to the upside. So from there to there, if you do break to the downside, then you're looking for this thing to actually drop to 96 something. Okay, so that's going to be the technical target to the downside if the sellers win and push it down, and if the buyers win, then you're looking for this target once again, which you previously met, right? You can already see when previously the buyers were actually successful to push it up, right? But now again, if you do come down and then push it up again, then you're looking for that same very same target to the upside. So it's all about breaking out and back testing things to see where you're going to actually in which direction you're going to be taking the lead. So that's it for this alts party and Bitcoin update as well. And do drop your comments, join our Discord, take a trading course if you want to learn more. I do have a trading course, and the link is in the description of the video. And you can get a discount if you message me on the Discord. You can get a discount for nearly $20 off. And that's it for today's update. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'm going to see you in the next one. Allah Hafiz.